back to the Strongman Say podcast. It has definitely been a minute. Today we are joined by special guest, Josh Rattoli, our videographer again. But we've got Josh in because our extra special guest, 2 times Australia's strongest man, Jordan Osborne, joins us.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Welcome. Very excited to have you on here. Very excited to be here finally too. Sorry, my bad. Big J, you want to kick us off with just a little bit about like your history, like where you're from, and like your sport history as well?
Yeah, of course. I'm a country boy. Grew up in Shepparton, Victoria. It's about 3 hours from Melbourne. Played baseball growing up, bit of football, all that kind of stuff. Just normal country kid. Can we swear?
Yeah, of course you can.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
Normal country kid shit, you know.
Yeah.
Swimming in the river, stuff like that. But baseball was my main squeeze. I played for Victoria and Australia growing up from the age of 12. Played on the Australian team in Japan and just carried on throughout my junior years, and then played semi-pro in my early 20s. So that's my sporting background.
What does semi-pro look like?
It's pretty much Australia. Yeah, it's not you're making the American big leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make money?
Paid.
Kinda.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to
Semi-pro
like
is semi-paid.
Semi-paid. Yeah.
Semi-paid for sure.
Yeah. So what does that make strongman? It's still not semi-pro.
Semi-amateur.
Semi-amateur.
Yeah,
Do we get paid?
semi-sponsored.
Is that a thing?
I said Bradman's dad, Bradman's like one of the young guys who was competing. His dad was giving him, because his goal was to come 10th,
Yeah.
his dad was giving him a grand for 10th place and a grand for any place that he gets higher than that.
Oh, shit. Did you get
so,
like 6?
Well, he came 9th.
Oh, right.
So, but he was coming 8th. So he was in for 3 grand. And his dad said that like dropping the stone cost him $1,000, right? Which is like hard.
Right.
But I said, bro, still 2 grand. Like you're probably the most well-paid strong man out here.
Yeah.
Like, not bad sponsorship. Like
Yeah,
thanks,
no,
Dad.
That's the best sponsorship we've had in Strong.
I lost money doing that shit.
Yeah. Can we bet against Bradman's dad? Start booking money? Yeah.
So, and you played over in Japan. How's that?
Yeah, it was sick. Learning culture. It was unreal.
How old were you when you were playing over there?
The first time I was 12. So went over there and we stayed with a host family.
Yeah.
It was the coolest experience ever.
So you're 12, heading over to Japan playing baseball.
On my own, yeah.
Oh, by yourself too?
Yeah. Wild, hey.
It's cool.
Exchange student.
Yeah, 12-year-old. That's like an
yeah.
exchange primary student.
Yeah. I have a nephew now who's almost 12, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I could never imagine you leaving the house.
Yeah, it's like a big cultural shift too.
Yeah.
To go to
Sure.
Japan.
It's a massive, yeah.
And most of them just don't speak English
Yeah.
either.
So you did like a homestay with like another kid who played baseball kind of
For
thing.
Japan,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Just had like a buddy sort of system go on. Like we went to like the arcades and stuff over there. Like they have this place called Round One. Like you guys have been to Japan, hey?
I haven't.
Yeah.
It really has, yeah.
So there's this place called Round One. It's just like multi-story arcade zones, like mechanical bulls, like baseball bullpens and stuff like that. Like just arcade machines, claw machines.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
So did you ever play baseball over there, or did you get stuck at round 1?
No,
Yeah, as a 12-year-old, like
did a
sick.
little bit of baseball.
Those places have like indoor like driving ranges and like
like
baseball
whole
hits
deal.
and stuff. So
Yeah,
you could probably
yeah.
go in there and literally train baseball
But yeah, you can,
and play video games.
Yeah.
As a 12-year-old boy, Japan would be like a mecca
It's-
of just dumb stuff.
yeah. I think like the Nintendo Wii just came out too, so we
Yeah.
were just playing baseball on the Wii. Like, all
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
yeah. That's so cool. Yeah.
And then so you're like, so what age were you when you were playing semi-pro baseball?
So that's from 18.
Okay, so like finished school kind of deal,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
playing sort of semi-pro.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started strongman?
Oh,
How old are you now?
I'm 28 now.
28. So still pretty young.
Yeah, I think I was 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2019, I was in Fed Square watching yourself compete. And that's when I found Strongman. We heard your name on the MC, and we Instagrammed you. I found Strong Geelong, and then that's how it
You
comes.
said this the other day, and I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, true.
That was the first thing. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I think I met you at 2019
Yeah.
at ASM. So we
Yeah.
must have spoken beforehand.
I think maybe
Like quickly, yeah.
Okay, cool. And so what bridged the gap between what were you doing between playing semi-pro baseball and then sort of discovering Strongman in 2019?
Yeah, so after baseball, I got released, and that was a bit of a
From prison or from baseball?
Sounds very dark.
like a contractual release.
Yeah.
So,
I was on probation. Got released. Welcome to Strongman.
yeah. That's what in baseball when you get released, it's just you're released from the team.
Yeah.
So you got nobody.
Yeah.
You just can find
Like
another
free
club.
agent kinda deal. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and I kind of got a bit depressed.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and I fell into a bit of a hole. Got a bit fat.
Yeah.
And then found a gym to try and lose some weight.
Sick.
Yeah. And that was just realised I was pretty strong from there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But
And that was in Shepparton. So you look like
I was in Brisbane at the time, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I was living in Brisbane. So
Yeah.
I was playing up there as well. And then I moved back to Geelong.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so 2019, you come along to ASM. Was there any reason that you came along to ASM?
So we just want to check it out.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think I might have followed maybe Cam Taylor, Sam Surf before that, and then
Yep.
Sam Surf was doing an Axel record or something,
Yes.
and I was like, oh, that'd be cool to go watch.
That's
So
2019.
Yep.
Fair Square. There. Yeah.
yeah, on the
Axel.
stage,
Yeah.
it was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like the banners up with the Arnold
Yep.
logo and stuff, and I was like, damn, this looks unreal.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Fed Square ones were. Do we have two at Fed Square?
I think it was just the one. That was the year Will went for the Axel as well.
Yeah,
It was like Will, there was
Must have
Vernon.
been two because I didn't do because I competed in Fed Square, but I didn't do the Axel.
You did 2019.
yeah.
I did the Axel.
You did the Axel.
the overhead.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it was good.
I think the
Isn't there a-
opener was 140
Yeah.
from memory.
yeah.
I think
So-
you were sick and you shit yourself from
Oh, that was on the deadlift. Yeah, that's public knowledge on the podcast.
That's
I wasn't sick. Probably just too much caffeine, to be honest.
so that's all the same comp.
Yeah,
so you'll
yeah.
probably change your undies when the
I might
action
have
was
missed
on.
that.
Yeah. I reckon that's intentional. Oh, I can't do action.
Yeah, no, it's no good. And then so you come down. So you're living in Geelong, or not yet?
I was living in Shep at that point.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then you moved to Geelong.
Moved to Geelong December 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and then signed up at Strong Geelong 2020, January 2020.
Sick. And
Yeah.
thus begins
The Strong
the
Man.
strongman era.
Yeah.
And so 2020, and you won ASM 2022.
2022, yeah.
Great. So
March to,
what was the first couple of years like in strongman as you were sort of feeling it out and getting started?
well, the first 3 months was training at the gym.
Yep.
I was coached by Lee.
Yep.
And then COVID happened.
Yep.
So it was training from home. And you lent me a barbell, an axle barbell, some plates, a keg, and a stone. So that's all I had. Oh, and maybe a log. It might have been like the third lockdown was a log. as
Yeah,
well.
so the-
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah. yeah. So
Yeah.
that's all I had. So me and Lee wrote
So you
up
had
for-
what? So obviously people don't know Lee was coaching Jordan at that time. So and coached him into the 2022. So he had 3 months. Is that right? Of basically 12 weeks.
I reckon it probably would have been 3 months in the gym. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then COVID happens,
Yeah.
lockdown happens,
Yeah.
and then for the next 18 months, we're basically in and out sporadically,
Yeah, yeah.
basically at home and in the gym.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
How many weights do you have? All right, this is what we have to try and do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a stone, maybe press it because it's too light to do anything else with.
I think it was a 90 kilo stone.
Yeah. It was like, we can
Yeah.
only do so much with that before
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
too easy.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Okay, and then so that's the time. So we're looking at the timeline because if that's 2020, you've had 3 months in the gym, and then we've been stuck in lockdown, and you're winning 2022 ASM.
And then
right?
comps only really kicked back up start of 21 or
Yeah,
something like that.
What comps did you do between starting strongman and winning ASM?
So within that 3 months in the gym, I did
Yep.
a comp at CB,
Yep.
my first novice comp. I think that was like maybe
Yep.
February of 2020. And then
Did you win it?
I did, yeah, convincingly. I did.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dominated.
So and then I did. I think the gyms might have opened up at a certain point.
Yeah, we had a few
back.
little
Yeah,
reprieve breaks.
yeah. So I did a comp in Warrnambool.
Momentum.
Yeah.
The one with the heavy yoke.
Yeah, the heavy yoke, yeah.
So did that one. Won that as well. And then
Good run.
I lost the compound, the first compound, because I was meant to do like
That's right, the
the
original one.
intermediate level. And
Yep.
then, because all the ASM guys were doing ASM 2020, it may have been 2021, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So 2021 was the first compound,
Yep.
which all the ASM guys weren't going to do because they were doing ASM, but they
Yep.
got cancelled. So they all jumped into this compound comp.
Yep.
So it was like my third comp. I was up against yourself, Vernon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you did
Will.
that in
Yeah, I did.
heavies, and I
Yeah.
did
Yeah, I
105s.
did the heavies. Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
same
in weight
comp.
classes.
I had
Yeah.
like a $1, so I was fucked.
Yeah, duck walk after
Yeah,
yoke.
duck walk, yeah.
And they
yeah.
misloaded the yoke,
Yeah,
so it was
that's
like
right. Yeah,
455
yeah.
yoke. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Because I think you'd only done like 420 or
It's
something.
the first time I ever touched 400.
Yeah, it's probably the only time I'll ever beat him in a yoke event.
Yeah.
It was like 455 yoke into
Yeah.
a 240
Yeah,
duck
yeah,
walk, which
yeah,
is a
yeah.
gross medal.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
didn't get to touch the duck walk.
No, because I remember you coming off, and it's just like, the last time I did yoke, it didn't feel that bad.
Yeah, and I remember
Yeah.
watching because Vernon went before me. And like I watched Vernon train.
Yeah,
It was supposed to
yeah.
be 400 kilo yoke. And it's
Yeah.
like I know how that moves.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've seen how that's supposed to move, and that's heavier.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's either really he's having a bad day or that's
Yeah.
heavier.
Yeah.
And I calculated the plates, and I was like, oh my god, I'm
Yeah,
up
no.
next.
Yeah.
So that comp, I think I got 7th.
Yep.
I think I placed 7th, so it's probably my lowest placing
Yep.
in Oz. And then, after that might have been Warrnambool's after that one. Maybe. Cause
I can't remember.
I ran like
Yeah.
a 435, I think, in Warrnambool.
Yep.
So maybe that was after that one.
Yep.
And then it was back to the compound again for compound 2,
Yep.
which was against like Josh Pataka, Jihad.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that one
all
too.
those guys, yeah. I was super sick too, that comp. The night
Yeah.
before, I was like in bed with cold sweats, just like rolling up in a blanket, like, oh, I can't compete, but I just had to do it.
Yeah.
Luckily, I won that one as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But just good events for me, that comp.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then ASM.
And then, so that was meant to be a qualifier, wasn't it? Because that's why we did it.
Yeah.
Because I was so sick, I remember messaging Lee and I was like, dude, I'm going to pull out. Like, I feel so bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, just do it like it's qualified for ASM, see how you go.
Yeah.
I'm like, so sweet, we'll do that. So
Yeah.
I did it, won. And then after the comp, Mason come up to me, he's like, so it's actually not an ASM qualifier.
Yeah.
Going back to bed.
yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck. Could have stayed in bed, dude.
Yeah.
Like, pumping nerve.
Like I'm stoked that I won.
Yeah. So, Mason said it's not an ASM qualifier. I was like, what's next? So we turned to Holtzfeuer,
Yeah.
which got announced at that comp, And that was a heavy comp.
That was like probably the heaviest. That was designed to be the heaviest comp
Yeah.
that we'd sort of had.
Short
I
run
still think
yoke,
it's-
heavy log.
Yeah.
I still think it's one of the heaviest comps in Australia.
I think it's supposed,
ever,
it was supposed to be. Yeah, that was the
like,
idea.
It was
It's
nuts.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to hit certain weights to qualify
qualify.
for the comp in training. So it was
Yeah.
5 events in training and then the 5 events in the comp.
Yeah.
So it was pretty
Yeah.
wild. But so I was training for that. And
Yeah.
then 4 days out from ASM 2022, got a call up saying, do you want to come to ASM? That's
So
sure.
4 days. So Holtzfeuer was to try and qualify for the year afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then 4 days beforehand, you get the call up for 2022
Yeah.
to rip in. I mean, like, so you're training heavy.
Yeah, I was
right?
training he- yeah, exactly.
training heavy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But not
yeah.
event specific
No,
kind of thing.
I touched a block for fun.
Yeah.
And that was about it, wasn't it? I did think I did like 125 triples on the block. So
Yeah, you would have been training heavy frame, heavy yoke.
Yeah.
So there was some events that like crossed
Yeah.
over, but not specific.
yeah.
So how was 2022 ASM then?
Well, I ended up winning it, so it's pretty good.
It's all right. You're like, not bad, eh?
I think going into it was like the first event was a squat, and I think I squatted like 240 beforehand or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I never even squatted really. I fucking hate squats, and I'm like shit. So that Monday or Tuesday that I got the call up, I'm like, Lee goes get in the gym and let's squat. And I think we worked out to like 280.
Yeah.
And I learned how to use wraps there and then.
Yeah, because beforehand it was like, oh, I'm doing the comp, looking, it's like a 300 squat, and it's like, ooh, that's bad.
That's a hard start. That's a steep curve.
We need to see if you can squat.
So I ended up moving 280 in the gym, and I'm like, we descended on the day.
Yeah.
Which actually moved all right too.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And to the blocks as well. So it was a full learning curve.
Yeah, I love
never
it.
Squatted to the blocks and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
blocks is totally different. Even if you can squat, blocks is different.
yeah.
Like even like when I'm squatting, I still find I have a hard time with the axle
Yeah.
and the blocks. Like the timing,
Yeah.
it just feels different. Back tension is different.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, like that year, Aiden came into it and had a really
great
big
squat.
squat, and just mistimed it.
Yep.
And got caught in the bottom.
Yeah.
Like so easy to happen.
Yeah.
Comparatively now, and we'll probably get back into this a little bit later, but like compared to let's say 2023 and 2024, as someone who's got a lot of comp experience then, what were the differences in 2022? Because obviously you won, which is fantastic. But did you enjoy the fact that it was like no expectation and you were just there to kind of like,
Yeah.
like, was it good being the like underdog? Like obviously 2024, like your name's coming up in all the favorites lists as one of the top guys versus like 2022. No one knows who this kid is who's done like two novice, a novice comp and 3 comps.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, I just didn't want to come last.
Yeah.
Like, me and Lee just like, I just don't want to come last. That's
Yeah.
it. I want to have fun. And I think that was the biggest thing is like when I'm having fun, I compete well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's all I did. I just had fun.
Yeah.
Met the guys that I've been following on Instagram and was like, holy shit, like there's Corey Pokenhorn.
Yeah.
That, you know, like those guys, I'm like, wow, like I'm here. Like,
Yeah.
Like now I think back and I'm like, I wouldn't see anyone like that anymore. Like 2024 coming in, I know everyone. I know all the boys.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
part of the group as opposed
Yeah.
to someone coming up and being like
Not being a fan
Yeah,
girl.
yeah. So it's like that, and like I said, just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And just not come last, and hit a PB somewhere. So
Yeah. Interesting perspective as well, because we probably forget also that guys like you, and this is probably something for all of us to remember as well, like when new guys come through to ASM, they're like, I mean, I know that like there's a few new guys here that were like stoked to meet you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You forget that like people are doing their first comps and they are kind of fanboying at the same time as competing. You kind of forget that because when you're around it so much or you're part of the boys, it's like, cool, here we go again.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you're there to do a
yeah.
job. It's just kind of like routine for you once you've done it a few times and you know everybody and that kind of thing. But for new people coming in, like it's a big deal. You forget those big comps are big deals where even when like you've been internationally competing and stuff a fair bit, we both have, even when you go overseas, competing internationally is kind of like, all right, here, like we're here to do the job.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? There's no like, it's not stardom anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like the shininess wears off of it pretty
it
quick,
does.
and like
Yeah,
you just,
yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't stress about your performance if you're sitting there going, oh my God, it's that person.
Yeah.
It's that person.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about like, oh, I can't mess up this event.
Yeah.
So you tend to go a little bit better.
Yeah,
as
definitely.
well.
And low expectations too, I
Yeah,
think.
100%,
Yield some good results.
They say that
often.
with like World's Strongest Man too. Like everybody that wins a World's Strongest Man or like a big title like that, it's very hard to back up a second time
Yeah.
because you've kind of achieved it now. So maybe the hunger might be a little bit less, but then also the pressure on top and everything else that comes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what came in with 2022 as well and 2023. All I wanted to do in Strongman was win ASM. That was my goal when I first started.
Yeah.
I was like,
You ticked it off early.
Yeah.
You ticked it off very early.
yeah, that was my only goal. Like I didn't think about worlds.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm probably never gonna go to worlds. I'm
Yeah.
not 6'8", I'm not 180 kilo.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably too small, whatever. Like all these reasons why I can't do worlds. And then I won ASM and I was like, shit, what next? What
Yeah.
What now? I've done it.
Yeah.
I remember once you won it, like sort of the week after and stuff, and I was just sitting there and I'm like, it's so fucking good, but like it's kind of too soon.
Yeah.
Like you want to be a little bit hungrier for a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So how do you,
otherwise, then it is. Oh well, the only other thing is Worlds.
Yeah.
and the gap between
And
those two
massive.
is huge.
So big.
100%.
Yeah.
And like not just like even a competition standard point of view, but like the journey to build up towards being
you're
like
stuck
a potential.
floating between these two levels.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So like seeing as we're here now, we may as well sort of jump into it. So 2022, 2023, right? What'd you place in 2023?
I got fourth.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Fourth in the country.
Yeah, it's still not terrible.
But you didn't really feel like you had a good time out there, right? Like
Yeah.
you didn't feel like you represented like what you could have. Battled some injuries and niggles. So I remember like a massage gun non-stop between events.
That was in 2022.
Oh, that was the bicep forearm. Yeah,
because of the squatting, like my tendonitis just blew up. But
Yeah,
I think
after every event.
Yeah, no, 2023, man, my head just wasn't in it. Hey,
Yeah.
like
And do you think that's from like carryover from like the ASM, like winning ASM so early into 23?
definitely, yeah. Like, and it's like going to Iran as well.
Yeah.
As cool as that was, I got my ass whooped. Like,
Yeah.
I got flogged, and that was a real kick in the guts. And like coming home, it's like I'm not cut out for this stuff. Like,
Yeah, okay.
And I did I've kind of thought I did fluke 2022.
Do you think was it an eye opener though, or do you think it was like a perspective shift, eye opener, or do you think it was just like a kick in the kick into your confidence?
So at the time, it was a kick in the confidence.
Yeah.
But I flicked my switch. I flicked the switch, and now it's an eye opener.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, like that's where I can be.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody has that one comp
Yeah.
where they go in thinking they're quite good at something and just get rolled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I had it super early on. I thought I was doing well down here, and then I went to a Queensland comp and just got rolled, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
I suck.
Yeah.
And I think there's that tipping point of where people go, nah, fuck this sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or dig deep and go, I'll do better.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. And Iran was good vents for me too. Like it was a 500 kilo yoke,
Yeah.
400 kilo frame, heavy as fuck power stairs. I was like, cool. This is
Yeah,
like,
like,
these are
it's
good for
moving
me.
events, like, it's my jam, yeah.
Yeah. But going into like the first event on the yoke, we got one pick.
Yeah.
That's all we got. It was a 455 pick. So so I didn't get to touch anything before.
Half a ton straight off the back.
Yeah. And I ended up running it in like 14 seconds.
Still quick.
Still quick, but the guy that won got like 8.
That's so quick.
Yeah.
There are some huge guys in
Yeah.
that part of the
This
world.
is just the other thing that people forget when you think you're a strong motherfucker. It's just like you go over to other countries.
Yeah.
Because we all have this like thing where we like watch World's Strongest Man or we look at OSG, right? And it's such a small percentage of the actual population who even compete in our sport or do
100%.
strength sports.
Yeah.
You go over to Iran, you go over to the Eastern Bloc countries, and there's some guy with a name that you can't pronounce that you've never heard of on social media.
Yeah, no Instagram.
Running a 500 kilo
Yeah.
yoke in 8 seconds and throwing up like a 230 stone and a 410 deadlift, you know, raw.
Yeah.
It's just wild how, it can be quite insular because social media and the countries that the comps are always in.
Yeah.
It actually neglects quite a lot of strong people. When you go to Iran, you go like, bro, these people could win in World's Strongest Man.
100%. The guy that won the Iranian comp would win worlds.
Yeah.
Like we had the stone loader medley was 180 to 240.
Yeah. So heavy.
So heavy.
So they're over there where they don't have internet.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
you can't get the internet out
Yeah.
to anywhere else.
Yeah.
And they're doing heavier
Well,
stone
they just
runs
can't
than
get visas
giants.
to go to
Yeah,
America.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't get let in.
No, they don't get lit in.
Yeah.
If you have-
Convenient.
If you have Instagram over there, you got money.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only way
Yeah.
you're getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember just like after the stone run, they had the ceremony and like the sparkles coming down, the music playing, the anthem and everything like that. And they're doing a lap of honor with their flag.
Yeah.
It's like, this is cool. And then I look behind me and it's just a stone run completed with 240 at the end. And I'm just like, man, like, that's what?
Next level.
What?
Yeah.
Like, So it was demoralizing at the time. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, no, I'm going to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's also a very odd once-off heavy stone run.
Yeah.
Like you look at Worlds and only Tom finished this weekend
Yeah.
in their stone run. And that only
100%,
would have gone
yeah.
up to
But that's
10
just
to
another good
20.
Yeah,
example of like the standard and the difference between like a World's Strongest Man, which is like one comp in one corner of
Yep.
the world,
yeah.
and what strength sports look like in other corners. Or like, you know, the guys World's Strongest Man, I know it's not the same because you've got guys doing like 210 axles and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
But there's guys over in Russia and like Iran and stuff where like if you gave them a 210 axle, they'd probably demoralize it.
Yeah.
There was like 100 kilo guys that were putting up close to 200 randomly that people don't know their name.
When Dimitar did like a 140 something dumbbell, like
Yep.
for the record,
Yeah.
when I was in Ukraine, there was 105 guys putting up 140 dumbbells.
Yeah.
like that I'd never heard of before, you know?
And everyone in America is like, this is the world record.
Yeah,
And
this
it's
is the
like,
world
those
record.
guys just
Yeah.
haven't bothered putting up their hand.
Yeah. There was actually a 105 in Iran. His name was Leo Mishkin.
Yeah, you told me about this guy. Strong as...
Crazy, man. 190 log.
Yeah.
Like, under 105. And it's like, they had a 450 yoke.
Yeah.
He did it in like 6 seconds. Like, what?
Do you know what I mean? Keep them out, though.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
If they're 105, like, feel free to keep them out. Do not approve the visa for a little bit longer. I've got maybe a year left, you know? Then let them in.
Not Russian, man.
But that's why when you got World's Strongest Man and you've got 30 competitors and 10 are from the US,
Yeah, 100%.
it's not as Worlds as it should be.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, I think it's good to get you like it's good to have your perspective broadened on like what's strong,
Yeah,
right?
100%, yeah,
And do you
100%,
think that once you flick the switch, do you think that helped with 2024? Like, what do you think was the biggest turning point? Obviously, like had a bunch of personal stuff going on and that like 12 months as well. Like over that last like so 23, 24, what are the biggest key contributors for you feeling like not only that you competed, the placing I don't think is
It's
quite
not-
as representative of the
Yeah,
change that we've seen in you over the last 12 months as a competitor. And I said to you on the day, like, it was so good to watch you, that, like, at ASM weekend because it was like, oh fuck, he's back. Like that's a killer out there. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a killer out there competing. Like what do you attribute that to over the last 12 months?
So my whole last 12 months was to compete more.
Yeah.
I just wanted to compete, and get around Australia and compete.
Yeah.
So I went to Perth. I did Hawkesbury again in Sydney.
Yeah.
And I did Tasmania as well.
Yeah.
And I ended up cleaning up all those comps. And that was a big confidence boost. It's like, okay,
building some momentum and confidence.
And momentum, and I am feeling strong.
Yeah.
So I think that helped me, and that was like, I can be strong in Australia.
Yeah.
And I'm going to prove that this ASM.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did that.
Oh, definitely. Because we were talking about it before. Like, how many people have won 2 times Australia's Strongest Man?
Yeah, so Eddie would have been the last.
Yeah.
That won the
Eddie
2
Williams.
years. Yeah, he won twice.
Yeah.
And then before that, it's like Derek Boyer back to either H-Bomb or Bill Linden.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the list.
Were there more than...
There's more people that have won, but
Bill
they're
Linden
people that have won
competing?
too.
Yeah, no, like the competitive field isn't quite the same either, you know?
Yeah, and this would have been the deepest ASM.
Yeah, for sure.
By far.
Yeah.
It's had the most people turn up. It had the least people drop out. Normally, everybody drops out
Maybe
towards
the
the
heavies
back
have been
end.
listening to our podcast.
Hopefully. Actually, I hope not. There's not much love.
Because they were really nice to us when we were up there, but they shouldn't have been. Yeah.
But yeah, so like the most competitors that ASM's ever had. And then also having, three
previous
winners.
Yeah, winners,
and then like a Ryan McCauley.
And 6
previous
podium
places.
getters, and then just like the depth of the top 10, like a World's Strongest Man competitor, the depth of that top 10, or like that top like 5 especially.
Yep.
Like so fierce, right?
Yeah.
Like so fiercely competitive.
Yeah, if you broke down the stats and went, we've got multiple people that can do a 200 log, 400 deadlift, or can do this, like the stats would be quite big.
Yeah. Very,
across the
very,
board.
very strong.
Yeah.
Favorite international comps? While we're talking about like you getting around and competing more over like those 2 years. You've done a few international comps, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us about what you've done.
So I did SCL, Strongman Champions League.
Yeah. What did you think?
It's so fun.
Yeah,
It's
I reckon they're rad.
It's set up for a TV show.
Yeah.
So you go in there, you do your lift, and then it's an interview straight away. And you don't get another warm up or anything.
Yeah.
It's just straight into the events. It's boom, boom, boom. I love that. I love that fast paced stuff. Big names in there as well. Like my first comp was SCL UK, and that was like, it's literally the tallest lineup they've had. Ever. Like it's like Sean.
Because you were in there,
It was me and Paul Smith, and we were just like dwarfs, man.
Yeah, because Sean's like huge.
Yeah, Sean was the first
Andy
guy.
Black, I think, was there as
Andy
well.
Black,
He's huge.
Yeah. Gav Bilton.
Gav Bilton, I remember. Yeah.
It's just I walked into the pub, and the first guy I saw was Sean O'Hagan.
Yeah.
And this guy's 7 foot, 200 kilo, and he's holding a pint, and it looked like a fucking schooner. I was like, oh shit! I'm gonna beat this man.
What about confidence knock again? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go overseas. Like,
Flashbacks to Iran.
PTSD.
So that was like that's the first guy I met. And then the next guy that walked in was, or next 2 guys that walked in, and they had to duck under the doorway. Was Andy Black and Gav Bilton. I was like, oh, get fucked.
Yeah, like duck under the doorway and turn on the quarter
Turn
angle.
on the side.
Yeah. And then I got roomed with Gav Bilton. I got roomed with Andy Black.
Yeah.
And I was with Lewis Jack at the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, come stay in my room. I'm like, what? What's going on? And he's just like, just don't stay with Andy. I'm like, all right. So I went and stayed with Lewis. And lucky I did because fucking Andy stunk so bad. And we're all telling it too, like, put on some deodorant, man. It's like, I don't need it. Like just meeting those guys, and they're just big men.
Larger than life,
and you're just like, what the hell is going on? And then you come out and you beat them on a few events, and you're like, that's how you go.
Pretty good.
It's probably got to be the biggest confidence boost is like going into an international comp, and we sort of had that at Finland. Like someone would weigh in, and I'm like, oh, you're doing 105s? They're like 90s. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then you come out on the back end, and you're like, oh, that didn't mean as much as I thought it did.
Yeah, I think
100%.
that's
That
like a
didn't
big
mean
one.
that
like,
they were the strongest or the quickest.
my
Yeah.
first OSG, like ACL, sure, like there's some big guys over there, and like
Yep.
Ultimate Strongman, like some of the Eastern Bloc guys are massive, but like I remember just some of those like American guys on my first OSG. I was like, is there a bodybuilding show on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or like what's
yeah.
going on? Like
Yeah.
and or like when you go over to do like Ultimate Strongman, it's a 105 comp only. Like, is there an open class I didn't know about?
Yeah,
Like, what's
yeah.
going on
Yeah.
here? Like
Yeah.
we all weighing the same thing and we're using the same scales.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just wild. But then when you get it, like you realize it's not the end all and be all,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, and like we still get like pulled up on the street. Like blokes at work ask us, "Is like, they always say you're not that big." Like, I'm still strong.
Yeah.
I'm still strong, man. Come on.
I'm still bigger than you.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
We saw that. We've told that story at like Arnold's, like probably one of the last Arnold's or midway through. Like one of the 105 guys came on. We're like, he's competing against me, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Man, he Tyson?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro."
Yeah.
He's like, "God, you look a lot bigger on Instagram." Hey, I was like, "Motherfucker, I'm about to win. Like, trust me. Like, the comp hasn't started. I am going to win, and I am going to beat you. Like, doesn't matter that much. But yeah, no shit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like they were all talking about Sean O'Hagan's hand size.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's so big, he's so good at farmers. And then I had to go against him.
Yeah.
And I bet him like half a lap. And
Yeah.
I was like, let's turn around and get the
Yeah,
crack.
yeah, you're like,
yeah.
Love it. Yeah. So SCL was fun, and then like a few others.
Yeah, I did the team championship as well
Yeah.
with Tyler from Brisbane. That was sick. Like
Yeah.
just cruising to Finland with your mate. Like,
Yeah, fun to
you guys have
travel
done it
together,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just so cool. Just roomed up in the same hotel,
Yeah.
like midnight sun, so you can drink all night. It was unreal.
What's it going to take to get Tyler to jump in an ASM?
I don't know if he wants to do New Zealand's or ASM. So yeah,
Has he done? When's the last time he did a comp?
I'm trying to get into log dead stone.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, like that seems like the perfect comp for him.
I told my house is 20 minutes from
Yeah.
Doherty's. I'm like, mate, just stay in my house. I'll fucking get a flight for you.
Yeah, it's
just
like
get
the-
it.
Put the petition out now.
If there was ever going to be a comp,
Yeah.
Because like I would like he's so strong. I've just never
Yep.
actually. I don't think I've ever seen him compete since being so
He jumped
strong.
in-
you know?
Tyler, how are you
AS
listening?
yeah, it's a call out, bro. Yeah,
You're coming to log dead stone.
Lock and stone, let's go.
I got a suit for you and all.
ASI, didn't he?
ASR,
did he-
yeah, that's a decade ago.
Yeah, but I think that might have been the last one.
Shit, Queensland's? Did it do Queensland's?
I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think it did. No.
No. There you go. Overdue.
Just
Well
saying.
overdue for a comp.
We're ready.
Well overdue.
We'll put in a fourth event of a max front
And
squat.
when I say ready for you, I mean like I'm not going to be competing.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, I'm not ready, but you're
world's
looking ready. Yeah, the world's ready.
He sent me a video. Actually, he sent me a video last night. Him doing 220 stone picks for 3. Like,
Yeah.
picked 3,
Yeah.
and then
And then loaded one.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you doing? Like, wasting your time.
yeah.
Come and compete, man. Put it somewhere.
Yeah, that's wild.
So team championships, Iran.
Yeah.
Does that pretty much sum up some of the international
There's
ones?
a couple of Finlands.
Couple Finland ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been over to Finland a couple times.
Yeah.
Different trips or similar circuit, like while you were over there.
I did SCL UK and SCL Finland
Yes.
in the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
And then the year after was Finland again and
again.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the lead up for 2024? Like, how was training? How'd you go? BJ was your coach for 2024.
Yeah.
How'd you go? How was the banter going into a competition where your coach is competing against you for the title as well?
You coach him as well. So I don't know what
What a
he's
weird
saying to you,
inception
but-
this is.
It's a nice love triangle we got going on. Yeah. Two redheads and a brunette.
Okay, try really hard, and then BJ goes to Jordan. Try really hard.
No, he's a true professional.
No, he is, yeah.
He's a true professional when it comes to that. Now I'm copping it for the Zercher, but
Yeah.
pre-comp, he's a true professional.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He was nothing but encouraging. Just real attentive to what I needed
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah, so can't
Seems
fault
like
him.
it's been a great match. Like you
Yeah.
guys have worked really well together.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's definitely some Instagram story romance going on.
Yeah.
Very frequently.
I consider him a good friend now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, which
Got
is
all-
great.
got
Which
all
is
the
good,
time
like
well for him.
definitely good with the coach and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
so lead up was pretty successful, pretty smooth lead up, like coming into 2024.
Yeah, coming in 2024, I went on a holiday. So I went to New Caledonia and then flicked over to Samoa
Yep.
and did a strongman seminar.
Yep.
And that was the best thing I ever did. Just got to relax
Yeah,
got to
kick
chill
back.
out before the prep start and just burn a little bit of a fire again for strongman by coaching those people.
Yep.
Like, because they're super strong. And it was just like, I want to get in, I want to help. And like, it just lit a match like for me. And
Yeah.
it's just loving
How'd you
strongman.
find like Strongman Samoa?
It's so
You're over there with Pete, right?
Yeah.
right.
So when I met Pete
Yeah.
over there, he's strong Geelong.
Yeah,
member back in the
OG,
day.
yeah.
Yeah. It was so good. Like they're all so hospitable.
Yeah.
Just loving people, and it's just a vibe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was cool. Then came back and straight in the prep. It's
Yeah.
just 10 weeks of me having fun.
Yeah, sick.
So I was looking forward to every training, every session. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like
Yeah.
max log today, awesome.
Yeah.
Search and carry today, awesome.
Yeah.
Like I was training farmers. Like I was like, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
every session I was like, fuck yeah. Like,
Yeah, okay.
And like I said, when I'm having fun, that's when I'm good.
Clicks.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Love it.
and that's it. I was just having fun. So, yeah.
Like it.
Easy.
Yeah.
Don't take life too serious.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Well, yourself too
But
serious.
I
yeah.
mean, the pressure's on, and you got to win. But
Yeah.
don't take it too serious.
It's kind of nice coming fourth last year, though, because the pressure was sort of off again, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, I know I still had to perform.
Was it though? Because like your name was pretty high on the list for everybody's predictions.
The pressure was on Josh
Yeah.
yeah, which showed.
because there was it was Jordan and Josh that were always everybody was going these two,
Yeah,
these two,
yeah,
these two.
yeah,
But
yeah.
because Josh won last year,
I feel like we
that's
saw
where the pressure was on top.
I feel like we literally saw a repeat of Jordan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're like
yeah.
I just feel like young guy, first ASM, comes out, does a really, really good job, wins it, a lot of pressure, comes back to next year. And like, he still came second, so he did a great job.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's hard to back it up.
obviously hard to back it up,
yeah.
and just like same deal, pressure, small mistakes, just couldn't get the groove right.
yeah, there's just a couple little seconds here, slip on the dumbbell or something like that. Yeah.
Little mistakes.
Yeah.
I feel like we definitely saw like a bit of a deja vu thing.
Yeah. I said to him after, like, I said, it's hard to back it up, man.
Yeah.
But you've done so well.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
to
Yeah,
come second
definitely
is-
hard.
It's still incredible.
But I mean, so you've come back this year, won it. Is the plan to win it again next year?
Probably not.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to put my focus in OSG now.
Yep.
Try and podium.
Okay, so
there.
the goal is OSG this year, so December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to try and qualify for ASM.
Yep.
Because if I shit the bed at OSG,
Need a backup.
I will still have that. But that's good. That's viable.
So the plan's WSM in March, and if not, ASM.
yeah.
in March.
So everybody else's
Yeah.
plans, right?
Yeah.
Like Fardy's still training for WSM now, isn't he?
For this year.
For this year?
Could
yeah. Saw him
next
doing
few
some
weeks
axle,
too.
yeah. might get the call up for day 4 finals.
The hard thing with being a reserve too is like
It is tough.
So Paul Smith went over as the reserve.
Yeah.
And he posted up a video where he was just doing his normal training for a different comp out in like the warm up area.
Yeah.
Because he's there as a reserve, but he wasn't needed.
Yeah.
So he went over, sat, watched the entire comp, waiting if somebody got injured to then jump in.
Yeah.
And it never happened, so he'll
Yeah.
just fly back to the UK now.
And then
but
go
he
do
wasted
his
a
comp.
week.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him too because he could have had a spot. Like
Yeah.
Bobby Thompson.
Yeah, like
Come on,
Bobby ruining his calf, but already had something wrong
yeah.
with it before that first
Yeah,
event.
yeah,
And he was
sure.
scrapped after the first event. They really should have chucked him in.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So you said originally that when you first won at ASM, World's Strongest Man wasn't really on the cards kind of thing. It wasn't something that you had considered. You just wanted to be the best in Australia. Has that changed?
No, I want to be top 10 worlds.
Worlds?
Yeah.
Cool. So the pathway is essentially OSG. Is that what you're thinking? The Giants Live pathway and then WSM.
Yeah. Maybe try and beat Eddie in a comp somehow
Yeah.
to prove my spot.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you could sing better than him too. Like, that might get you an invite also. I don't think being as strong as him is going to count. I think you need to also beat him and then maybe serenade him on the podium afterwards.
get Johnny Big sponsorship.
Yeah. I don't know. I reckon you might have a voice in there somewhere. What do you reckon?
No, man.
I don't know. Here right now. Opportunity, right? Bust out a nice little solo riff. Yeah, this is your ticket to WSM. Colin's watching this. he's an avid follower.
Colin, I can juggle.
I can juggle and ride a unicycle.
The juggling strongman. The Instagram handle. You'd have to come out, and your trick would just be to get a baseball and just
Yeah. Can hit a baseball still.
I can
Knock
throw
some home
t-shirts
runs.
far into the crowd. Too.
But yeah, OSG's, especially this year with how many dropouts, like they took podium from last year.
Yeah,
To
they
Worlds.
did, yeah.
They did from
Yep.
OSG. Yeah,
Yep, they
cool.
took all three.
And the year before as well.
I watched
Yeah.
a bit of it, but how did they go? Like the top 3 from OSG.
Was it Nathan Goltry didn't make finals?
Nah, they're all mid-tier in their heats.
Yeah.
Marcus
Wesley
Crowder,
was Wesley?
Claiborne. Yeah.
No, not
Joe
Claiborne.
Winsky.
Oh,
Yeah.
who
I
was
can't
the
remember if it was
who was the
OSG.
guy who won it? What was his name?
Crowder.
Crowder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Marcus
because
Crowder.
he was really good at
Yeah.
OSG.
So he
was
got
very
into the
strong.
stone off against Pavlo,
That's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
but lost that.
Yeah. Yeah, the stone off is an interesting one again. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because I saw some of those lineups for the stone off, and I was like, great guys, just
Yeah.
no chance, you know.
Well, that's like Eddie. Eddie did so well in the heats.
Yeah,
And then
so well.
Just
Yeah.
to put in a stone off against a Scott.
Yeah. Nah. Do you know-
He did well though.
He did.
Yeah.
I think his tacky eventually started to slip a little.
Yeah.
And because they got a 20-second
He
timer.
did so well through his
killed it,
heats too. Like he was
Viking,
Super
all
strong.
the static events that he's usually not so good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won,
did
the,
well.
100%.
won the car race.
Yeah, he's just come up so much.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's just looking so much stronger
Yeah.
and just so much more consistent.
Yeah.
Especially because he doesn't compete a lot. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like in the ground, because he doesn't compete a lot here. He doesn't do a lot of competitions throughout the year.
Yeah.
No, but that's his second Worlds.
Mm.
I think it's only his
I
second.
think it's third.
Third, I thought.
Might be his third,
Yeah.
and then he's done probably 3, 4, maybe
Giants
Giants
Lives,
Live.
yeah.
So you get used to
Yeah, that level and
that level and
competition.
how they run
Yeah.
things, and it's probably.
I'm
a
just
lot
impressed
calmer.
with how far he's come from. He won ASM, but when he was winning ASM, we spoke about it, so raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so quick, but he had a 320, 340 deadlift maybe at best, a 160 log, but it was
He would have been
all over the shop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He was just such raw potential, but so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, you look and go out there and compete, just such a big improvement, which
Yeah,
is
it's
so
beast,
cool to
yeah.
see. Yeah. So OSG, definitely. I mean, the podium wise, pretty much a guaranteed.
Pretty
the
much,
standard for OSG, this is the hardest thing. The standard for OSG for you guys is insane.
Do you think it's going to drop though? Because
I can't see that it's going to drop when you see the guys who podium get an invite to World's Strongest
Yeah,
Man.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
only see it getting more fierce or more international guys
yeah,
coming
true,
over
true,
because let's say they take the podium from OSG and they're really looking at OSG now as a pathway for World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
How the fuck else do you get to WSM?
Yeah, you don't.
You don't. Yeah.
You don't as a nobody.
Or
Because
you-
they don't
Right.
look at SCL.
They don't look at us they're not looking at anything really.
or you're born in an obscure country.
Yeah, obscure country. You can wrangle a passport
I was
somehow.
going to say, you don't have to be born in an obscure country.
Yeah, yeah,
You just
yeah,
need to-
yeah.
True, yeah,
Just have to
yeah,
have a grandma or second cousin
Yeah.
from an obscure country.
Has anyone got the number for the Antarctica?
Yeah,
embassy?
yeah.
What's up?
And then you travel over and you win Antarctica's strongest.
Yeah.
Done, stamped.
Jordan,
Me and a few
Jordan against a bunch of penguins, a few Eskimos.
Chuck a t-shirt on and then we're good.
Puts a little suit on, this is my grandma, this is my pop.
Colin would love that. He would be all for it.
You know what? That actually might get you an invite. If you went over to Antarctica and got some content, and was Colin, where's my invite? Antarctica's strongest man. At least you get noticed.
Like he's got to go study science or something.
Yeah. But the reality is there's not really. I mean, they hold on to guys for a long time, probably past their expiration date.
Yeah.
Because they have profiles and they're known faces and they're charismatic, right, on
100%,
TV.
Yeah.
So they hold on to guys past their expiration date sometimes. That's I'm trying to be kind.
Yeah.
And then the new guys coming up, unless you have a public profile, unless you have some sort of in through some means or a country, it's really hard to
So hard, yeah.
get in.
They re-invite, this year they re-invited people they shouldn't really have re-invited.
No,
Because
100%.
they'd done one Worlds before.
Yeah.
So they had experience. Spencer Remick got in, it's you could pick a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of strong guys.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of strong.
So you just
guys.
need the foot in the door, like
Yeah.
once,
So
and
like,
then you just need to prove you're good enough to.
but
go
OSG
back.
is really like the only pathway
Yeah.
now for guys that want to
the only
come
one
through
for
that
Giants.
don't have. Yeah, it was the only pathway for Giants.
Yeah, and Giants is then basically the only thing for
That
Wells.
circuit. Yeah.
Unless you got a really big lift, like a big log or a big.
Yeah, unless you've got like
if you have a token lift, you
unless
get
you've got a
noticed.
stupid following or
Yeah.
or a stupid lift.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like someone
100%.
like Hank could go to the World Champ Deads and do well. Like,
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
banging it for a while.
Hank, if you
Do
want
you
to
know
say
what I
it.
mean?
I
Like,
can't say his last name, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like
Jameson.
someone like that
Thurston.
could go and do it.
yeah,
But-
yeah, could, 100% if he's in shape and
Yeah.
stuff. But
But
like,
needs that exposure.
he'd need
Like,
to
yeah.
one, get the exposure. He needs two, to get noticed. I mean, I was tagging World's Strongest Fan
Yeah.
in his videos and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
when I was coaching, I'm like,
Yeah.
bruh,
100%,
like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he did a huge solid for like getting Mitch through when there was no comps.
Yeah.
Like Julian pushed that through. He
Yeah.
did a lot for Coco.
Yeah,
as
well, that's the
well.
other thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you
Coco
get
through
like
a lot as
Julian's
well.
like probably the other one in terms of like
exposure.
exposure and in terms of like someone who watches the sport and like sees these personalities.
Yeah, I've been in
He's-
contact with him as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
We've been talking a little bit. Yeah.
Sliding those DMs,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah.
Do what it takes. WSM's WSM, baby.
On his knees.
That's what we got to do, man.
Yeah.
Hollywood, WSM, TV shows, you know.
Maybe you just got to run like.
It's not new in the scene, but
yeah.
Maybe you just got to run like a 501 kilo frame or farmer's total weight. Like
speed,
just
yeah,
have
yeah.
one big event that everyone just goes,
yeah.
what the fuck is that?
yeah.
I posted 200 kilo per hand farmers. It doesn't get any notice though.
No, 'cause
come
there's
on.
a couple of people that can do that.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It needs to
Yeah.
be just soul insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like a lot of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Like, I mean, ASM this year, like, event by event.
Yeah.
Won't go through everything, but like, what did you do between events? Like, what was your game plan for the day?
Do you know, I didn't really change anything different to how I approached each event. I've always sort of reserved myself a little bit. I had a bit of a laugh, but then reserve myself and get that focus.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the biggest thing with this comp is like I had a quiet confidence. So
Yeah.
I was really confident in my own ability. And if I just executed the way I know I can,
Yeah.
I'm going to do well. And wherever that puts me, that's where it puts me.
So what is the pre-comp? Let's say Friday. What are you doing before the comp?
Eating. Eating food.
It's a pretty typical answer for an open weight. Yeah.
No, I
boy
know what you
answer.
mean. Just like I got some breathing exercises that I do.
Yep.
Just do that. Just chill.
Yep.
I was watching Strongman on the TV. Like I was telling Lee before, I actually found a 24-hour Strongman channel where it's just SCL comps one after the other.
Oh,
Year
someone
by year
told
by
me
year.
this because someone's like, bro, I love watching you on SCL when we're at
Yeah.
ASM, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Are they a thing?
Yeah.
What's this channel?
I don't know. I
It's like a KO deal, but it's like SCL.
It's so I couldn't even find a logo. So I was like going into the menu to find a logo to find
Yeah.
a name. I messaged the Airbnb host and was like, yo, what's this TV that you got set up? Because I need to know. And he was just like, I don't even know. I'm like, "Oh." But yeah, it was like this 24 hours of Strongman. So I was watching that. I was just chilling on the couch, just eating food, just drinking water.
Cool. And that's Friday day of comp.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so Friday night you roll into the competition. Or you get there at 12.
Yeah,
right?
so early. So-
Yeah, so you all
yeah.
had to turn up like 5 hours early.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just reserved myself.
Yeah.
Like, talked to the boys when I had to. Like, got around the new guys.
Yeah.
Like Bradman. I made sure like I went and spoke to him
Yeah.
and said good day and good
Yeah.
luck and stuff. But after that, sort of just sat in the back of the grandstand. Just watched the comp floor. Just visualized my list really.
Yeah. Log.
Log. Yeah. It's
Successful lift. What was it?
175.
Cool. What's your
Max.
best log?
My best 185.
Cool.
I tried 182 and a half. Just didn't go.
Yep.
Just lost my legs.
Sure.
Just couldn't find my legs on the
Yeah.
day.
Did you find that there was anything different from doing log, like out there? Did it feel pretty good to start off with? Like, it's the first event, so it's a bit of an icebreaker, you know? Like, it's kind of like,
Yeah, max overhead's tough.
yeah, max
To start
overhead's
with.
tougher first one. I feel like it's a tough event to like kick off with.
I I've done max log there twice.
Yeah.
In that same arena, so it's pretty familiar.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, okay, I know what to do.
And there's a bit of a roof kind of thing. It's not too bad.
Yeah, a
It's
few people
high,
get
but
thrown off by the
yeah.
roof.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
a split in the middle.
Yeah.
That kind of throws you off. So I knew from the first lift I just had to look back a little more.
Yeah, sure.
And it was good to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think a big theme with this comp, after Josh failed the 172.5 on his second attempt, I think
Yeah.
it was, I was like, oh shit, like I need this 175. He seems kind of rattled. And from that point on, I knew I could control the tempo.
Yeah, sure.
So like,
Yeah.
so coming up in baseball, I was a pitcher. And in pitching, it was all about controlling the tempo of the game. So if we wanted to slow a batter down, we'd just take our time. If we wanted to speed them up, we'd rush them.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I found myself doing that a lot in this comp.
Yeah.
So coming into the Farmers, I knew Josh was a little rattled
Yeah.
because he just missed that log, and it's hard
Yeah.
to come back from.
Yeah, especially first one. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I had to go up against him in Farmers, and I was like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was always the first one on the comp floor. It's like when
Yeah,
I knew
sure,
I had
like
to
I'm
go,
out
I was out there before
Yeah.
the guy I was competing against.
Yeah.
And that's how I could control the tempo. So what I did was with Josh was speed it up.
Yeah.
Because he's rattled, right? So I was like, right, I'm going to get to the Farmers quick. I'm
Yeah.
going to get my hands on. I'm going to make him speed up. I'm
Yeah.
going to make him not think about what he's going to
Yeah.
do and try and like just that little competitive edge.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I
sure.
mean? So that's what I did. And coming Farmers, I was, ended up beating him by a couple seconds. or
Farmers
whatever.
is like a good give me for you too, though, as well, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like,
I do love Farmers.
yeah, no one's like watching him move. It's just like there's not many people who can move that fast.
Oh,
with
Ryan's
those kind
quick,
of loads.
man.
Ryan's quick.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what everybody came down to was
Yeah.
like, it's going to be one of those two.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the moving stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
With the Farmers especially.
Yeah.
I was like, no one else is going to catch those two.
No.
Yeah.
And then it just depends on like the turnaround time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like Ryan sort of did his. I remember James being like, I don't know, I don't think anyone can beat that. And I was like, it's a little slow.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Jordan can.
Yeah.
And James was like, really? And I'm like, yeah, if it's nailed.
Yeah.
But it would have come down to the turnaround. Like,
Yeah.
I actually
small
fucked it up
things.
so bad too. Like I dropped my left hand a lot sooner. So when I picked it up, I had to pick up the right hand and sort of suitcase it a meter and then
Yeah.
come in with my left.
Yeah.
So it was like, just little changes that I
Yeah,
would've
small
made.
things,
Like,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just a critique of myself.
Flag race. How'd you find that?
So the flag race, the boys stuffed up a couple of the lifts.
Yeah.
And no one completed it in a clean run. So my whole objective was just get in, get it done clean.
Yeah.
And that was it. I wasn't worried about going too fast or anything. I just wanted each pole done in one shot.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and ended up winning by like 4 seconds or something like that. So just that smooth as fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
smooth as fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Especially on an event that like it's new. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Like it's one of those events you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it
much
as an athlete, but
Yeah.
it looks cool.
Yeah.
You can build great momentum too when you start getting events stringing together.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you
that's
fin- you-
1,
you
2,
win
3.
Farmers.
Yeah.
And then you go into the next one, you get to see what everyone else does.
Yeah.
So you get to pace that. So you do well on
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then the opposite, if somebody stuffs something up, then they're out first on the next one. And then if they screw that up,
Yeah.
their day just goes.
Did.
And it's so hard to bring
Yeah.
that back.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, it's pretty G'd up after day one.
Yeah, and how'd you find recovery?
Recovery was fine.
Yeah, into day 2.
I had a bit of calf cramping.
Yeah.
So it's-
sounds like the theme, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
Calf
the
cramping.
calves, yeah, from the
Yeah.
flag race.
Just
Yeah.
copped it, yeah.
In the car
Yeah.
for the next day.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
start
Straight
either.
into it.
Rough. But
Yeah.
that was probably my only thing I was worried about, but body felt good.
Yep.
My mindset was a bit like, don't fuck this up. But I got a mate in Naramu in WA
Yeah.
that I speak to every now and then.
Yeah.
So I messaged him and was like, hey man, like I'm worried about stuffing this up. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm a genuine, like just being genuine here. My
Yeah.
mindset was like, don't stuff it up. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, I probably will.
Yeah.
These aren't my best events coming in today. Like I just
Yeah,
got to,
sure.
it's just damage control day 2.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
And he sent me a voice note to just completely flick that switch in, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm
Cool.
on. So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
momentum's
yeah.
there.
What helped there? Like what was the thing that helped? Was there anything specific that you could share that like helped turn the tide with your headspace?
Yeah, he just said like you've earned this. You
Yeah.
know, like the work that you put in for those 2 events that you won,
Yeah.
you earned that. You worked
Yeah.
for them, and you've worked for these events, so it's gonna stay the same.
Yeah.
He's like just trusting yourself, back yourself,
Yeah.
and have that belief that I had in the first day.
Yeah, sure.
And that was like okay, yeah,
Yeah,
So,
cool.
yeah, that helped me a lot. Yeah, so that was day 2, coming in, believing myself, and just get it done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then so day 2 starts rolling, car flip.
Yeah.
You get to watch a few of the guys go there as well.
Yeah. So a lot of the guys went for the Zertra off the keg, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's a bit slow. Like I can't. I've got to do it in one shot to win this event.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I just full send it.
Yeah.
It's just grip and rip.
Yeah.
And just dig everything I had into it. So I just got lower on the car than what most guys probably got.
Yeah.
Like that was my focus, get low and get under it.
Yeah.
And I mixed gripped it too. If you watch the video, like I've watched the video a couple of times, you slow it down. You see I never come out of contact with the car. So there's always one hand on there. So
Yeah.
when I switch hands, my left hand's holding it. So I still got that weight.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the other guys, they come up and they let go. So
Yeah.
the car wants to come back.
Yeah.
But I've still got that weight there, so I'm still holding it, and then I can flick and go. Bang.
Yeah,
So
push.
I think that helped me a lot, and yeah, just being a dog about it.
It was one of those events.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
yeah.
And then so rolling through, what was next?
Overhead medley.
Overhead medley.
Overhead medley.
Yeah, so the same as overhead medley. Big Mac, I was up
Mm.
against him. He was putting on a show. He was G'ing up hard. Like
Yeah, he loves he loves like both the crowd and the pre-event,
Yeah.
like G up.
Yeah. And I've been watching him do that all comp.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to slow him down here.
Yeah.
So I made sure I was out first again.
Yeah.
And I heard him as I'm walking up to my space. I heard him going, getting G'd up.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm just going to take my time. Just let him chill a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just break that up a bit.
Yeah.
And so when I seen him come up to the log, that's when I took my salts and I had a sniff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched him touch the log and I had another sniff. And then he like looked up and he's like, what's going on? And I was like, sweet, I've just broken I've just broken that momentum, Like
Yeah.
it's just little fucking games like that, man.
It's very clever. Yeah.
And,
If I was competing against you, I'd be like, this cunt's a real motherfucker.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let's go, bro.
Yeah. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
And I'm confident in that medley. Like I can do
Yeah.
I can do it pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can do it on my terms now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we did. But they stuffed up the yo-kite
Yeah.
on the press.
Saw that with the press, yeah.
Yeah, it still eats
I
me.
just saw the face of discontent after that event.
Just approaching it just looks so low.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, what's going on here? And then I got under it, my knee hurt. And I was like, this is way too low. What's going on here? And then Sean's told me the dumbbell's rolling to me. So
Yeah.
I had to kick that back. There's wasted time.
Yeah.
And I just look at it again. I couldn't get under it. It's too immobile.
Yeah.
And then I just had to grit. Just
Yeah.
clench my teeth. Just get under it and fucking press the thing.
Yeah, there's no choice out there like, at that
Yeah.
point, right?
I still got third in that event though. So
Yeah.
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 It wasn't too bad. Or maybe fourth. I can't remember.
I don't know. I can't remember.
It's
Still
high.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Still enough to win the comp.
Yeah.
Good enough to where you wouldn't turn around and go, can we reset the yoke height? And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whereas if you miss the yoke, it'd be like, okay, we got the wrong
Yeah,
yoke
yeah,
height.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that again.
Yeah.
The press was so easy too. It was like, yeah.
Zercha?
I think it was deadlift next. wasn't it?
Deadlift,
Yeah.
yeah.
Deads
Yeah.
is deads, man. I'm no good at deads, really.
Not
For
no good at
reps.
deads. Deadlifts is not so saying you're no good at deads is probably a little bit of an overexaggeration.
I'm just no good at deads for reps.
Yeah, sure.
It's a real weakness of mine.
Well, how many did you get?
I can't remember. I think 5.
Yep.
5
Which is
and
still
320s.
still reasonable.
Yeah, it's still shit.
Yeah. Raw deadlift too
Yeah.
as well, which
Yeah.
makes like things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Still would have put you up there points wise.
I think I still got 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Move on to the Zercha, one of the moving events that you probably should have won. Got beaten by Coach,
Yeah.
who's typically a shit mover.
he came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
What'd you give him before that, man? Oh, whatever he's
Thumb.
having.
He realised the comp was almost over and he's like, shit, I've got to do something.
So that's the one that you've been copping shit for, I think.
Yeah. So lost to him by what was 0.1.
Yeah, so like a
yeah.
stopwatch, right? Yeah.
Let's just say let's do it fresh, man.
Yeah.
Best of 3 moving events. Let's do a farmer, a yoke, and a Zercha. We'll see. Who
The Zercha definitely came down to just the person that risked it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just sprinted it and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kept
yeah.
it controlled somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Zercha on the way back, I actually cooked. Like I picked it way too low. I was just straggling. I was just holding on to it.
Yeah, you
That's
could
all I
see
could do.
anyone that took off, and if it kind of just slowed or like swung,
Yeah, got like a bad swing.
you just
Yeah.
lose like
Yeah.
half a second or
Yeah.
a second, which is a lot
Yeah.
when it's that light.
So if I had to picked it right, I would have beaten him, but
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah,
And then,
Stones.
the Stones.
Yeah.
Your favourite event of the day. We were trying to do the calculations before. We don't think you would have lost it because you would have had to have like first or second.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Ryan won the Stones, but you would have had to have had a fair point differential between like second and third placings and you.
Yeah.
We had to go back and check like how many people got the actual 3 Stones, but you had like a 12-point lead going into the Stones, so you had a very, very good buffer. But my question is, what the fuck was going on in your head on that third Stone after having 2 attempts? Were you like, were you fretting? Like, were you like because it looked like a real dog came out there. Like that stone load was grind, twist, like fucking your soul went into that stone.
It actually did, man. For me, Stones, I've never finished a medley. I've never finished a Stone run, and it fucking haunts me so bad. One day I will. Mark my word.
And like the first 2 Stones popped off the chest.
Easy, yeah.
Cleared it easy.
It's like that 180 is a real headbanner for me.
Was that the same one at Visa Burden?
It's 180 every time.
Yeah, it's the same one at Visa Burden.
Yeah.
Yep, I can do it here, one motion. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, nah. So what was I thinking going into?
Yeah, what was it? Were you thinking cognitively out there once you had missed it twice? Like, were you starting to like stress about it, or like what happened there? Like, what's going in? Not what happened. Like, what's going through your head at that point?
So the 170 slipped a little.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Okay.
And like, the 180 is going to be hard. So I tacked it up before I approached the 180. That slipped, and I'm like, oh god, this is another repeated beast. Like, and you got that much time to think about shit. Like like, it's
40 seconds.
Yeah,
Just go,
plenty of time.
Here we go again.
yeah, and then like I rolled it to the left. I'm like, break that tacky. Roll it to the left. Roll it to the right. So tried to pick it again. Nah, no go. Like, oh god. I'm like, I need this. I need this.
The hands on the
yeah. I hear the boys yelling in the back. I'm like, oh fuck. All right. So rolled it this way. The mat came with it. I'm like, oh fucking mat. Try not to get pissed off, but I think I kept my cool pretty good. So I just kicked the mat down, rolled it to the left side, and tried it from there. And eventually it popped up, and then as I lapped it, I'm like, I've just done 4 picks.
Yeah.
I'm cooked as. I'm gassed. Yeah. It's been a long call. Like, you're actually thinking that. Like,
starting to tap out.
Yeah,
do I want this?
Yeah. And then I hear 10 seconds, like, on the microphone behind me. I'm like, shit. I gotta go.
Like, stick on.
Yeah. And you just watch it. I just stand out with it. Like, usually I like cock my hip back a bit or something like that. But I literally just... and it just gets stuck and stuck and stuck. I'm like, let's get going.
It was the best grind. I was just...
Everyone's just like,
I was like standing on the edge.
There's I have like one video of it where it's like facing that way, so I'm here, and you see all the boys in the background. They're all just like, leaning with me. It was it was rough.
That's a repeat of the 105s with Mitch Budge.
Yeah.
When he came out and was in the lead and just slipped on like the first stone, and you're like, what are you doing?
Oh, so rough. Yeah. But yeah, I got it. So it went over the bar, and then I sort of just stopped. I knew I won at that point. Just looked at the crowd and realized that I actually did dominate this comp, and I actually all that, the 10 weeks of prep was all worth it.
It was a pretty dominant performance, you know what I mean, overall. Yeah.
Before Stones, it was, I think, 12 or 13
which is
points
huge.
up.
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing between 2022 and this one was I didn't have time to think about what I need to do with 2022, and I didn't prep for it, so I didn't feel like I earned it almost.
Yeah, sure.
Like I earned it because I put in the work and I won the comp. But 2024, I put in work.
Yeah.
Like I was training hard.
And do you feel like you've enjoyed the win more?
100%. This one's so much sweeter.
Yeah.
It's so much sweeter. Yeah. And it's just a different feeling. Like, I don't know, you expect it to change your life, but it doesn't.
No.
And now this time I'm just like, cool, just another comp win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
2 days goes past, everyone says congrats, and then back to normal.
Yeah, I remember like when you won the first one, you're like, yeah, man, like I'm going to do this, like blah, blah, blah. Now I'm Australia's strongest man, this.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't matter how many times you win it, bro, no one gives a fuck, you know? Like it's like 3 days of social media, highlights, and then it's suddenly like no one remembers your name anyway, and you got the grocery store blind shit.
Which is better because you don't put it on a pedestal.
No,
So
you
it
start
doesn't like haunt you, and you're like, oh my god,
and
I'm
like
this
it's
person.
like, and also like if you don't do it next year, it's the thing. Like you don't feel like you're missing out on anything.
No, that's right.
Do you know what I
You've
mean?
done it twice. It's not a fluke.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I think I've
three
really
times
proved
sounds
that
good
this
though.
time. It does sound good.
3 times sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's not many that have done 2, but like, there's fewer that have done 3.
Yeah.
I got a plan, man.
Yeah. So it was a quick comp too, which definitely favors some people and not
Yeah.
others. And like
Yeah.
you said, you like a quick comp, and from baseball and stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a fast-paced game. OSG's the opposite of that,
Super
Yeah.
slow.
which is a hard one.
Yeah. Big learning curve, but
Yeah, and I mean that's what World's Strongest Man is too.
yeah.
It's a very, very slow comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like broken up, like TV side
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah, like event, rest, event, rest.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
me.
you coming down. I mean, well, just to precursor, we love to have anybody on that, you know, Big G's welcome to come on anytime. It's just the fact that the last 2 ASM winners have been for Victoria, so we've been blessed to be able to have them in. Yeah,
We've always wanted the thing of like have someone
yeah. We don't want to do
Yeah.
like
shitty Zoom.
yeah,
calls.
shitty
yeah,
Zoom
yeah,
like
yeah.
stuff. Like we want to get people in
Yeah.
and like have a chat and sit down and stuff. So,
Yeah.
thanks for coming in. Congratulations on being 2 times Australia's strongest
Thanks,
man.
guys.
And
Cheers.
we look forward to seeing you crush it at OSG and hit World's Strongest Man.
Hopefully, yeah.
I mean, this podcast is the precursor to becoming World's Strongest Man.
It is.
Just like Mitch Hooper's sat in that very chair.
Yeah.
So you never
Hopefully
know.
got some good juju in here.
Yeah. I'll lend you the cushion. That is a Strongman's Day. Thanks for tuning in. You can find Jordan at Geordie K Osborne.
Yeah.
Whew, got it right. On Instagram, and check out his YouTube. He's also very handy with a camera, so you can check out his socials and YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
Great. We'll see you next time in maybe another year.
Pretty much.